Welcome back to your next lesson on passports. In this lesson, we'll go over the different types of passports available, the forms you will need to fill out, what you will need to apply, getting your passport photos taken, forms of identification, proof of citizenship, how to apply in person or by mail, where to go to get your passport, the fees, how long it takes, how long they're valid for, what to do if your passport's damaged or lost, and what to do if you need to travel immediately. Let's start by going over the types of passports available. Now, when you go to apply for your passport, you'll be asked to check a box for what type of passport you would like. Consider what type of passport will be most useful for you. A passport book is required for all international air travel. You can use it to travel by land, sea, or air. It is valid for all international destinations, whereas a passport card lets you travel by land or sea to Canada, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Bermuda only. You cannot use it to fly internationally. Now let's go over the different forms that you may have to fill out. If you are applying for a new passport, you will want to fill out Form DS-11 before you go, but do not sign it. Read the instructions on the first 4 pages carefully, then fill out the form. You'll need to provide your name, social security number, address, an emergency contact, and other identifying information. Do not sign the form yet. When you bring the form to the appointment, the official will tell you when you can sign it. Furthermore, you should not attach the photos yourself to the application. They will do it for you. On this form, you'll need to check whether you want a passport card, book, or both. If you're renewing your passport by mail, you'll want to fill out Form DS-82. If you need to change or correct any information on your passport, you'll use Form DS-5504. And in certain special situations, like if you need to report your lost or stolen passport, you'd fill out Form DS-64. And if you did not receive your passport by mail, which usually takes about 10 days after they mail it to you, you'd fill out Form DS-86. Now let's go over what you will need in order to apply for your passport. You will need to complete the form, have a 2-inch by 2-inch passport photo taken, have your photo identification, proof of citizenship, and your fee ready to be paid. So let's go over the passport photo requirements. You want to keep this in mind ahead of time that they're very strict on passport photo requirements. You can't just submit a selfie and think you're good to go. A passport photo is a 2-inch by 2-inch photo of your face. You can get your passport photo taken at post office, printing shops, or some drugstores. They can edit the lighting and dimensions to meet the criteria, so it's better to get it done rather than trying to do it yourself. Also, the photo must be printed on photo quality paper and it can't be altered in any way. A passport photo must follow the following guidelines. You must face the camera directly with a neutral expression, no smiling. You must have a plain white or off-white background. In the photo, your head must be 1 to 1.325 inches from the top to the bottom. You may not wear glasses, hats, or head coverings unless you have a signed written statement saying they are necessary for medical or religious reasons. You cannot have headphones or other devices in the photo. And most of the times, a passport application is denied or delayed because of an incorrect photo. Photo identification. Acceptable proof of photo identification includes an old, undamaged U.S. passport, and this is the only option acceptable for renewing a passport by mail. You can use a driver's license, military ID, a certificate of naturalization or citizenship, or a government employee ID. In addition to the regular documents, you must also provide a photocopy of your proof of identification. Copy the front and back of the document on an 8.5 by 11 paper. The copies will not be returned to you, and this is only necessary if you're applying in person. And if you don't have a copier, you can visit a local office supply store or printing shop. Proof of citizenship. Acceptable proof of citizenship includes an old undamaged U.S. passport, a U.S. birth certificate, a certificate of naturalization, certificate of citizenship, or a consular report of a birth abroad. In addition to the original documents, you must also provide a photocopy of your proof of U.S. citizenship. In this section, we're going to talk about what you need and what you need to do if you're applying for a new passport or renewing your passport in person. So, if you're applying for a new passport, first thing you'll want to do is fill out that form DS11, and here you can see where the website is that you can print that form off. Second, you'd get a passport photo taken, a 2x2 color photo. You can get those done at a FedEx, UPS, Walmart, Costco, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, photography studio, or passport office. Third, you'd want to bring your original supporting documents, which are your proof of citizenship and identification. And then fourth, have your payment ready. And this is very important. They only take personal checks, certified checks, cashier's checks, traveler's checks, or money orders made out to the Department of State. No credit or debit cards are accepted. Then you'd apply for your new passport at the local post office or any passport facility. And the fees for a new passport for a passport book is $110 plus a $35 acceptance fee, and a passport book and card would cost you $140 plus the $35 acceptance fee. Now, if you already have a passport but just need to renew it, you would fill out form DS11, bring your most recent undamaged passport with you, bring in 2 passport photos, bring in evidence of a name change, if applicable, and have your payment ready. Again, no credit or debit cards are accepted. And the fee to renew your passport book is $110, and if you'd like the passport book and card, it'll cost you about $140. Now, you have to apply in person if it's your first passport. If you can't submit a recent passport with your renewal application, your passport was damaged or lost, if it was issued before you were 16 years old, or if it was issued over 15 years ago, or if your name has changed, and that is unless you can provide a copy of your certificate of marriage or court order. And then if none of those apply to you, you're good to renew by mail. Now, in-person renewals, the same process as applying for the first time. You still need to pay the same fees and fill out the form and submit the same required documents. The only difference is that if you have an expired passport, you can submit that as proof of citizenship and photo ID when you apply. Once you gather all your documents, you'll need to locate a passport acceptance facility in your area. You will want to make an appointment at an acceptance facility or passport agency. You likely live near a facility where you can get a passport. Many post offices, clerks of court offices, libraries, and other municipal offices, or a passport agency will process your application for you, but some will require an appointment, so make sure you call and ask before going. Fees. So here you will see a chart of the fees to apply for or renew your passport. And don't worry, in the download section, you can download this sheet and print it out for your reference. How long it takes. It takes generally 6 to 8 weeks to get your passport after you apply for it, or 3 weeks if you've had it expedited. And once you've received your passport, it's generally valid for 10 years for adults and 5 years for children. Now, let's talk about what to do if your passport is damaged. Passports that have water damage can no longer be used and should be replaced. You'll want to apply in person to replace a damaged passport at an acceptance facility or passport agency. And you'll need to have the damaged passport, a signed statement explaining the damage, the Form DS-11, which is the application, evidence of citizenship, a photocopy of that evidence, your ID and a photocopy of that ID, as well as a passport photo and your fees. Now, if you've lost your passport, you'll need to apply in person and include the following: Form DS-64, which is a statement regarding lost or stolen passports, Form DS-11, which is the application for a new passport, proof of citizenship and a copy, proof of ID and a copy, one passport photo, and the fee. So what should you do if you need to travel immediately? The first thing you'll want to do is make an appointment at a passport agency for expedited service. This is the quickest way to get your passport, and expediting your passport generally costs about $60 plus $15.95 if you want it shipped overnight to you. You can make an appointment online or call 1-877-487-2778 if you're unable to find an appointment online that meets your needs. And remember, it's important to bring all necessary documents, including proof of travel, when you're applying at a passport agency. Now let's go over some passport tips. Make sure you apply at least 6 to 8 weeks prior to your wedding to make sure you get your passport in time for your honeymoon. If you need it fast, you can pay a fee for faster processing. Make sure you have all the required documents with you when you go to apply or renew. Make sure you know the new laws regarding travel. And you'll want to familiarize yourself with that country's travel restrictions. So, I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.